Hey guys, I'm Joel from Lancaster County Backyard, and today we're here to answer all of your questions about timber frame construction. Now, timber frame construction is actually a really cool way to bring the sort of natural, detailed beauty from the outdoors and make that into any structure that you choose. And so whether that's a storefront or a home or a pavilion like the one behind me. And so we're gonna walk through the pavilion and we're gonna show you just sort of the details that go into timber frame construction and answer your questions along the way. So with that, let's jump right into question number one. So our first question is, what is timber frame construction? And timber frame construction is actually very unique, not just because it uses wood solely, but because of all the intricate joinery that happens between the pieces. And so I'm going to show you a little bit more about that right now. And so this first joint is called a mortise and tenon joint. And so this is the tenon piece, this is the mortise, and they sort of just fit together like a puzzle piece. And so you just weave your pieces in, make sure that that is secure, and then you take your wooden peg and feed it through the hole here to really secure this piece in. And so that is the first type of joint. The second one is the dovetail. As you can see the cutout right here. Now the dovetail joint works mainly with our rafters. As you see a piece like this, which has this cut made here, and again, they sort of just fit together like puzzle pieces as it slides down and really just sits nicely into place. And so those are the two types of joints that make this type of construction really what it is. And so around 1900 or so, things started to change. And so the demand for fast, for cheap housing comes along, and that's where stick-built structures sort of take off and leave timber frame behind. And timber frame, while it's not common practice today, we want to keep that tradition. We want to see it revitalized because of the durability and because of what we really can do with timber frame construction. And now timber frame construction uses types of wood like Douglas fir or spruce or hemlock or pine, and really many different types of wood. And so we use Douglas fir at Lancaster County Backyard. We use Douglas fir from the West Coast, shipped over here because we believe that is going to be the best type of wood for your timber frame construction. So our second question is, what is the difference between timber frame construction and stick-built construction? Now, stick-built construction is a common type of construction that uses 2x4s, 2x6s, things you can pick up at the hardware store, and screws, nails, and along with load-bearing walls to sort of form the structure as a whole. And you've seen it today. Most modern houses are stick-built structures. Timber frame construction actually works a little bit differently, and it uses these heavy posts and beams, things like this solid piece here, and it joins them together with the joinery that we saw earlier with the mortise and tenon joints and the dovetail joints to create this intricate wooden piece, a wooden structure that we at Lancaster County Backyard have come to know and really love. When it comes down to look, it's more of an opinion. We know that it's an opinion. Some of you guys out there are gonna like the stick-built structures a little bit more, but for us, timber frame construction actually gives another level of intricacy when it comes to the aesthetics of the building. And so the exposed wood, the exposed beams, and whether that's in your home or whether that's the whole structure being made out of this, it's just natural and it brings the outdoor beauty in. And so for us, that makes this timber frame construction just very aesthetically pleasing. And when it comes to price, and we know that price is going to be out there, and a question that you guys are going to have about stick built versus timber frame is price, and so we need to get to it. And timber frame is going to be a little bit more expensive than stick-built structures because timber frame, again, uses these solid pieces and uses solely wood. And while stick-built structures were made specifically to be fast and to be less expensive because they can just pump them out, we take our time with timber frame construction. And while there are machines, CNC machines make it a little bit easier to maneuver these different pieces and get them to you on time, it still takes a little bit longer, and there's still a little bit more intricacy in the wooden cuts that have to go in, make it a little bit more expensive. A word that gets thrown around a lot with these two types of construction is the word durability. And so when it comes to the durability between timber frame construction and stick-built structures, how does that work and what does that look like? When it comes to stick-built construction, we know it uses 2x6s, 2x4s to come together to form the structure. And when hurricane-like winds come through, we've seen those stick-built structures really take a hit. When it comes to timber frame structures, it's a little bit different because of the density of the wood that is used. And all of the joints and the fasteners come together to really create this durable structure that some are still actually here today from history. And so like the monastery we mentioned earlier, it's still standing today because of the durability of timber frame construction. Now the last thing is environment. Which one, is more environmentally friendly? And so we know that stick-built structures use nails and they use screws, and they actually use more wood than timber frame structures. Timber frame structures use solely wood, and it really is this sort of natural, recyclable, and renewable and non-toxin really related way of building. And so when it comes to which is more environmentally friendly, timber frame actually to us is more environmentally friendly than stick-built structures. So our next question is, what are the advantages of timber frame construction and what are the disadvantages of timber frame construction? Now the advantages are, it's an open layout. There are no load-bearing walls, and so you can easily make it exactly the way you want it and have things exactly the way you want them. For those of you who are DIYers, you can also assemble these structures yourselves. And so that's why we at Lancaster County Backyard offer kits that you can order and have delivered to your home and really assemble it yourselves. And then finally, it's very insulation friendly, meaning that the density of the posts and the density of the beams really helps to insulate if you want to create that sort of in-house structure. Now, what are the disadvantages? One of the things you're always going to have to watch out for when it comes to wood is rot. But that's why we have created these little structures that help your posts actually stand off of the ground to try to prevent that rot. The second thing you're going to have to watch out for is the bugs. Now, bugs love wood, and we know how pesky that bugs can be, so just watch out for bugs. And then finally, we know that the price is a little bit more when it comes to timber frame construction. And again, you get what you pay for. And so maybe that's a disadvantage and maybe it's not. Now we have reached our fourth question, which is, what are the uses for timber frame construction? And really the uses are unlimited, maybe limited by your imagination, but the uses are unlimited. You can use them for pavilions, you can use it for pergolas, for gazebos, for any kind of shed, outdoor structures like that, in homes, as homes, these sort of hybrid buildings where it's overhangs or storefronts. Really, you can use it for a ton of different things. And really, when we get down to the specifics, like how am I going to use these structures, again, that's up to you. But timber frame construction can be used to create something like this pavilion at an Airbnb that acts as a wedding venue. It can be used as just a gathering space in your backyard. It can be used as sort of like a place to come and sit and just relax around the fire. Really, anything you want for your property, we can use timber frame construction to help. Our next question is, how do you create a timber frame pavilion? And now we talked about the uses for timber frame construction, and pavilion was one of them. And at Lancaster County Backyard, that's what we specialize in. And so if you order a pavilion kit from us, you're gonna get detailed instructions on how to put it together. And you're gonna unwrap it, and you wanna take out your posts and set those up in the right areas with your post standoffs underneath. And then the beams and sort of the structural integrity will just sort of fit together in those joints like puzzle pieces like we showed you a little bit earlier. And again, this is a quick synopsis, and so if you want to see a pavilion installation happen, check out our third video right now in the series and you can see it all come together with a little bit more detail. So how much are timber frame pavilions. How much do they cost? Well, at Lancaster County Backyard, we have 3 different models for you. We have the Kingston, which starts at $15,500. We have the Denali, which is $18,500, and we have the Grand Teton, which starts at $23,000. And if you're interested in any of these, we have pages on our website. Check out the links below, and you can go and check out all of the differences in between these 3 pavilions. Now, this is only the pavilion cost, and it doesn't include the cost for the foundation. So when it comes to pavilion kits, should you do them yourself or should you have an installer do them? Well, the pros to doing it yourself are that it's cost effective. You have this sort of, I did it myself, you know, DIYers, you do it yourself, that satisfaction. And you don't have any delays. There's no delays of waiting for somebody to do it for you. Now the cons are, if you've never worked with tools before, you know, we do provide detailed instructions of how to put the kit together yourself, but you're gonna need to have worked with tools, you're gonna have to be comfortable on ladders, you may need to even ask for a helping hand because some of the pieces are very, very heavy. So our final question is, how do you get one of these timber frame pavilions? And that's simple. Just go to our website at lancastercountybackyard.net and we would be happy to talk with you, and you can submit a free quote and you can do all the research you need to find exactly what you're looking for. Don't forget to check out part 2 of this video series where we show you the manufacturing in-house that we do for these pieces and the designs, and we show you the CNC machine really cutting the wood, and it's very, very cool, so don't miss it. Check it out. Guys, thank you so much for watching, and we can't wait to talk with you.